This game makes me nervous. Actually, not the game Residual, I'm working on it if you haven't followed this channel. This is a game I'm currently working on for almost a year, and we're nearing that phase of completing it. And that makes me nervous. Now, it's not so much the fact that the game is going to be released and everybody's going to play it, and hopefully that's going to be a lot of people. That fact isn't really what's making me nervous. But what is it that makes me nervous? I think it's just mostly the fact that I'm wrapping up a project that I've been working on for so long, and a combination of things that people are going to play this game. Like I said, hopefully wishlisted on Steam. Check the description below because we need every wishlist. So people will be playing it, and of course there will be people who love it. There will be people who don't like it at all. There will be people like you who have been following this channel and have this vision of what I'm building and all these ideas, and it might actually be somewhat disappointing because I can't match everybody's idea of what I'm building. I'm building the best game I can create and according to my vision. So those type of things do make me nervous, but it's more. So it's not just the fact that I'm wrapping up the game, and I think it's not just me being nervous about it. It's also the tension, the excitement, that everything around it, that I'm actually wrapping up a project. And I had this with all the other games before it. I just get these nervous feelings, and some days it's less than other days. Some days I really enjoy the game I'm working on and I think, we're there, tomorrow I can release it. But then the next day I do another play session and I'm thinking, no, my bug list is just, no, there's so much stuff going on with this game, I should change all of these things. That's a weird feeling to have, and as a game developer you have to ignore most of that. But it's hard. So I have my to-do list in Trello, and the to-do list it's shrinking, and although there's a bunch of stuff being added to this to-do list, but I don't need to add all these things, and some of these things actually are already in the game, but I forgot to remove these cards. The bug list, and that just changes after every gameplay. Yesterday I had a gameplay session, so the bug list now has a lot of stuff in there. And a lot of tiny things, like the time of day. Right now we have the hours, and it should maybe be a circle because the hours in the day can be random. Some planets will have 30 hours, other planets might have only 14 hours. So it's probably clearer to the player if you just make it a circle. Small things, not really a bug, maybe more a to-do thing, but some stuff that I really want to do and need to do. And then we have the key feature list, and this one is the most important one, as these things need to be done before we're actually done. And luckily for me, this list has been shrinking also. Alt text to localization, this is like a couple of hours work, and just sit there, go through all the interface screens and make sure all the text is in a separate file. Artifacts, database screen, pretty easy, I guess another 4 or 5 hours work maybe. Create artifacts, which is very easy, it's just a bunch of graphics and stuff, not a lot of work. Just needs to be done, so that's why it's here. I think we're now at 40 artifacts and I want like 100, so there's still 60 to go. Credit screen, pretty much done. I had various tasks in here. The only thing missing are the publisher names, but can't disclose those just yet. And of course, all the lore and stuff behind it. And I've been working on these things, so most of these key features are now at like 60 to 80% done. So with every game project, there is this fear of just keep adding features, feature creep, just keep working on things and keep adding more and more and more, and sometimes more is not better. So you try to stay within a certain scope and within a certain vision, and I get a lot of questions from people asking me, are you not adding too much, and are you not growing this game way beyond what you originally set out to do? Which is a very valid question, very good one. All right, so this was the first devlog for Residual. I set out my goals, my plans, and the idea I had for the game. Everything procedural, did that. No weapons, did that. And survival, adventure type stuff, did all of that. Of course, these videos can't cover every idea I have in my head, because then we're gonna be here for a very long time. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and I don't know these will pass through the whole YouTube algorithm, so probably not a good thing to talk about everything in my head, but these videos give you a good idea of what I wanted to set out and had as a goal for Residual. Did I go too far in that? I don't know. I don't think I went too far scope-wise. I did change the plans a little bit, but that was because I did a Kickstarter for the game, which I mentioned in the first devlog. That was an option I was going to do, and I did it. It was successful, and that allowed me to work on the game, and the plan was to release the game in early access on Steam in December. But there was a publisher, and they said, wait a second, we can help you, and it changed a little bit. So the scope didn't really change. I'm now a year into game development, and every feature I wanted in the game, and every feature that's in the game is also the feature I wanted, is in the game, except originally I would have released it a little bit sooner and then kept working on it with updates. But now all these ideas and features I wanted to add later on after an early access will now be in the game from the release date. So I think that's a win-win for everyone. Also, publisher is not making me nervous. They're not behind me with a whip telling me to hurry and rush and everything. I think I'm the one who's making me nervous. Yeah. So right now I'm just doing a lot of playtesting, and that usually means I'll put everything aside, boot up the game, start it from scratch. The only problem is that every time I'm like 20 or 30 minutes into the game, and that's like the beginning of the game, I already have a long list of stuff that I want to change and improve and update. And it's not a lot of bugs, it's mostly wanting to make sure that the player understands what's going on. And for example, there's notifications of things you pick up, but there are craft notifications at the top of the screen, then there are the missions on the right side, left side, and then at the bottom there's this robot thingy talking to you. Having all that stuff on the screen as a first new player to the game might be a bit daunting. So I'm trying to smooth out all those events while still making sure that you don't miss these events. So things like that is what's keeping me busy on the game right now, and also makes me nervous. On some days I'm thinking this game is the most awesome game anybody is ever going to play. But the next day I'm running into a bunch of stuff that I think this game is far from being completed, and let's move on to another prototype. But we can't do that. We have to wrap this up now, and that's what's making me nervous. So this wrap-up stage of a game project also makes it very hard to create these videos or show you a bunch of new stuff, because most of my work is not on new stuff, it's just on tweaking and changing and fixing existing stuff, which can be hard for videos. But I think today we managed to create an interesting video. At least I hope so. Let's wrap it up with some YouTube comments on last week's video. I'll try to do this more often so that everybody that's commenting within like the first 12 hours of uploading this video or going live, if you comment on this, there's a chance I'm gonna reply to your comment in the video instead of just on the website. So let's just dive in. Alright, so last week's video was about a bunch of random stuff. I think most of you liked that video, and it was something different than normal. So let's see what you guys have here. You really deserve a break. Your work is just amazing. Thank you. And yeah, I need a break, and I will have a break at some point. But for now, I'm still enjoying myself on Residual. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm still having a lot of fun working on the game. Just that a bunch of other stuff is just overwhelming, and everything together. At some point, you need to create a good break for yourself. So I'll get there. SparkDev, damn, you are just amazing. I wish Residual breaks all the charts in your games and content reaches to millions. Yeah, I can only hope for the same. At some points, like for the YouTube channel, sometimes I'm very happy with how many views I have and how many subscribers, but then I see another developer and I think they have like 10 to 100 times more, and I want that audience as well. But we'll get there eventually maybe, and I'm still having fun with the video. So, and as for the game's Residual, I hope it does amazing, but we'll see. I'm not gonna think about that too much, because that might also make me very nervous. Even more nervous than I already am. Awesome, taking break is so underrated. I'm back to working on site again, so I get to catch up with your old videos on the drive in. Well, drive safely. I'm not sure if you're driving yourself or are you in a bus or train, because that makes a lot of difference when watching videos, I think. But thanks for watching, and watch out for traffic. How do you sit in that chair for so long? It looks so uncomfy. Yeah, I still need a better desk chair like thing, but to be honest, I move around a lot, and this is also a desk that can be lifted up, so it's a standing sitting desk. So I'm mixing that up, and I don't sit actually, the uncomfy chair makes you change your pose a lot, and I think that's actually better than just sitting very comfortable in one chair. But I still want a better chair. At some point I'll get a better chair. This is an interesting video, much fresher. Yeah, every now and then I just like to mix up these type of videos. I also need a lot of time for it, and just a lot of energy, because if I don't have the energy, you're gonna feel and notice it when I create these videos. So every now and then we do videos like this. Do you like Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland better as Spider-Man? I think I like the awkwardness of Tom Holland in any role he does. There's just something there that, I don't know. Tobey Maguire was okay, but I think I like Tom Holland more as Spider-Man. Your content is so great, you totally deserve way more attention. Pixel art, FPS sounds like it could be a really fun game made by you. Yeah, it's been at the top of my list to create a first-person shooter with pixel art. Like, I see a lot of them now. There are multiple in development, but not one from Orangepixel. So it might be something interesting to team up with somebody who has experience creating first-person shooters. I'll gladly create the graphics for them. I have to say that I love the way you interact with your community. It always makes me smile to see how you develop Residual over the time, all the updated little changes that made Residual what it is now. Yeah, it's also very fun to watch back all the episodes. There's like a playlist on the Orangepixel channel that has all the episodes that I talk and show Residual. You can really see how it started all the way up to where we are now, and interesting to see, and also to look back. There's also a playlist for Space Grunts 2, and I think another game, Gunslugs 3. I think it's a lot of fun to see how games develop like that over time, even for myself to just watch it back and see where I went wrong or what I did right. I mean, I think you need a little break. Well, I think you are right, Genji. Also, first-person shooter and racing games sound like awesome ideas. Yeah, that's why at the top of my list. I think it could be interesting. What do you consider a successful release? Game profit that can last you a whole year, 3 years, 10? A successful release for me is if the game makes back the investment in the first 1 or 2 months, or maybe up to 4 months of release. So that doesn't mean it's very profitable, but it at least means that all the time and investment put into it have been made back, and over time it will then make a profit, because games have a long shelf life, and you can keep pushing discounts here and there. You can push it to new consoles, new hardware. So a game has a very long shelf life if you maintain it and keep pushing it. So if a game makes back the investment within like the first half year, then I think it's a success. Will Residual come on Android? Main focus right now is PC and consoles. It's already a lot of work just trying to have all that done and come together. So PC, consoles for sure. After that, and then after a little break, ask me again. But this game is bigger than all my other games, so it's gonna require a lot of work and attention to just get it up and running on my phone or anything. So ask me again next year. What tools do you use beside GIMP and IntelliJ? So I do these videos on the tools I use almost every year, except I didn't do it this year, so maybe soon. Besides GIMP for art, IntelliJ for development, I use Audacity for audio, sound effects and cutting and stuff like that. I use Trello for all my to-do and my tasks, and that's probably the main tools I'm using. I know about JuiceFX and PixelFX, but I don't think that's for me. I haven't really tried them, and I know what they can do, but I'm not sure they are the type of tools I want to use. Where's your hair? Serious question. I don't know where it is. At some point I was just noticing I lost it, but I don't want it back at all. If anybody finds it, keep it. I don't need it anymore. There's a lot of stuff going on in my brain, so having less hair covering all that heat, it just ventilates a lot better. So no idea where it is, but if you find it, keep it. Alright, and that's it for this week's video. I hope you liked it. Thumbs up, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, notification bell if you want to be notified, jump on the Discord if you want to every now and then be part of it, like Q&As and stuff like that. And I'll see you next week. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but I'll see you next week. Alright, bye. Do it again because my camera is shaking because I'm touching the